So recently, on March 10th, aka Mario Day, we got confirmation from Nintendo that we'd be getting 3 new games in the form of a Game Boy family of systems update, all centered around new Mario content to play, as clearly Mario Day's become something of a celebration now for Nintendo. It wasn't a thing in the past, it is now, and we're seeing them really try to build it into something where it's kind of like a mini Mario Direct of announcements. Well, the games revealed there are now live, as you can see the following post over from Nintendo of America, which reads, "Oh yeah, 3 classic games featuring Mario are now live for Nintendo Switch Online members, with Game Boy getting Dr. Mario, Game Boy Color, Mario Tennis, and Mario Golf." Now, clearly, these are all under one app and one emulator, so if you boot up your Game Boy library of games, you will see all of these additions in there. In this video, I want to briefly boot up some of these games and have a discussion on where we're at with NSO as a whole together, talk about whether or not these games might be worth putting some of your time into and checking out, and I'll also be mentioning a way that up until midnight on the 17th of this month in March, you could actually get 2 weeks free of Nintendo Switch Online and hop right into these very same games that we're playing today. What's up, Nation? Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And as mentioned, guys, today we are discussing the brand new round of NSO updates. 3 different games in question here: Dr. Mario, Mario Golf, and Mario Tennis from a mix of the Game Boy and Game Boy Color family systems. We'll hop into Dr. Mario first. You guys probably know what to expect with that. This is actually the one that has some nostalgia for me. I did not play the other 2 in any notable length. Like, I do have some like vague memories of checking them out as a kid, but I didn't own them. So I do know there's some like hype around Mario Golf specifically because it has some RPG elements in a like a story mode type of deal. But yeah, nonetheless, a decent addition. I love to see Mario games included in the NSO updates. And then also, you have to keep in mind the fact that we're actually getting these at a time when you can go ahead and do a free trial, even if you're somebody who has used it in the past, and it's twice as long as it normally is. So if you do not have Nintendo Switch Online right now and you are curious about signing up, you can legitimately get 2 weeks free. I think you can redeem that until March 17th at like midnight. Doesn't matter if you've redeemed it before, you can still go in and get it now. And you get 2 full weeks of gameplay on the base tier. So you're not going to get the expansion pack content, which I would argue is really where the service becomes a little bit more attractive, because unless you just have hardcore nostalgia for Game Boy and NES and SNES, you really get a lot more in terms of things to play with N64, Sega Genesis, and Game Boy Advance now on that expansion pack tier. So they still don't have a monthly option for signing up for the expansion pack tier, which is a problem, but you can at least get 2 weeks of gameplay on the base tier going on right now, which I love to see. And it's around a time where we got brand new games to enjoy. So I do think that that is cool that Nintendo's continuing these free trial programs and stuff. But in all reality, the service, while it's great, it's, you know, my complaint remains the same. We just don't know how frequently Nintendo's going to update the service at the end of the day. And, you know, I hope this isn't the only update we see for March, because I do think that we could get to a point rather quickly, and we'll go ahead and hop into another game here, because I could play Dr. Mario for hours and hours. I absolutely love this game, but you know, I do think we could get to a point rather quickly where Nintendo really, if they want to stay at a much more consistent level in terms of updates and update the entire family of systems more frequently. Like, when's the last time we got a Sega Genesis update? You know, we did see that nice Rare edition of games with Rareware games all hitting at the same time as part of that Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. So right now, they're not doing too bad, because we had a solid update of games on 5 different systems, or at least a mix of, yeah, I guess it would have been NES, SNES, Game Boy. Do we have any Game Boy in that one? No, we didn't. And then we had N64, but we had basically a couple different systems updated all at the same time, or a few different systems updated all at the same time. But then you go these stretches of time where they only do one batch of update for a month, and then you don't hear anything from them until a couple months. And we're kind of still going back and forth with that. So if they can break that and they actually do, I think, you know, if we had something like a Genesis update this month as well, or if we had something like a Game Boy Advance, something for the expansion pack tier, then it becomes a lot more attractive. But right now, for March, it looks like we for sure have base tier, and we don't really know about if we'll get anything else. And the golf power swing meter here is kind of tricky to me, because I cannot figure out exactly how hard I need to hit this thing, because obviously we just overkilled that there. So these games, I think, like, for me personally, they're the type of games that, like, if you had nostalgia for them growing up, you're probably going to super enjoy them. If you didn't, like, and you don't know the mechanics that well, kind of like me, like, this doesn't, you know, really feel the best to play right now in 2024. But you know, that said, I'm curious about the RPG elements in this game. I may give it a shot, and who knows, like you know, you might get to that point where you just kind of get hooked a little bit. But very simple, you know, golf game. Oh, and I do know there's some clubs on the bottom that you can switch between as well, which maybe I need to be doing because, you know, you guys can clearly see that we're having a hard time even getting the ball towards the green. But this is literally like a golf game, and they just like slapped Mario on it. So I would love to hear from you guys if you have nostalgia for this game, if what you think of like the RPG elements. And I'm sure there's a lot that you're supposed to be doing that I'm not right now with getting this ball there. I wonder if they actually, like eventually, if you'll like kind of run out and see. Now we're gonna hit it probably way too far. Yeah, so you get the idea with the golf game. For me, it's gonna be more of a learning curve before I'm willing to go through and just fail at that over and over. So next, we will hop into Mario Tennis, the last brand new game, which, to be fair, right out of the gate too, looking at like these cutscenes and things, these games, while they don't look the best, they actually do hold up pretty well, considering that you're playing this on a 4K TV, even though the Nintendo Switch is only outputting 1080p clearly. It's still something that, you know, to my surprise, these games look pretty good for what they are nowadays. You know, I mean, considering that these were on the tiniest Game Boy Color screen way back in the day. So now Mario Tennis, this feels good. This feels responsive. We are losing again, but no worries. It's all about having fun. Let's see if we can get a power shot there. Yes, we did. But you know, these games are good fun. You can pick them up literally, I mean, for free for at least 2 weeks. Just go in and play and see what you have, any memories of classic games that are available on the service. Go check them out. I do think it's worth it. And you know, from here, I'm just really hoping we get another like N64 roadmap of games. There's a lot of missing ones that I want to see come over. Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong 64. Nintendo still got some bangers up their sleeves that they could absolutely deliver on, but knowing Nintendo, the way their strategy and how they're thinking with this service is that they're playing the long game. So when the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out, they still want to have a bunch of, you know, brand new content to offer us. And so they're not going to kind of front load it with everything that we want all at once. But the big problem, as I mentioned, is that we have no communication from them around when they're going to update. So I wish in a perfect world for me, if Nintendo could give us updates on the base consoles and on the expansion pack tier consoles, at least a notable update per month for each system, I think we'd be in a perfect spot. So we'll see about March. It's not too late. We could very well, and I'm just getting owned by Waluigi now. It's not too late. We could very well see another update before the end of the month. And if we do, that's a good month and a big win for me. But like I said, considering that we're hot off the heels of that February partner direct still, and they did some rare games there, I'm not necessarily expecting another update. But I think if there's a console they need to update, it's Genesis, because we haven't seen that one talked about or given any love to in quite some time. And it's also there we go, we lost that game. So it's also N64. I think both those consoles, and well, Game Boy Advance, to be fair too. The expansion pack tier consoles I absolutely love, and I just want to see more frequency in terms of their updates and some of the good bangers that we still need to have playable on here. So these games are all fun. Like I said, I really think for Game Boy games in the modern day, you know, if you're playing them in 2024, you probably have nostalgia for them. If you're a brand new gamer that, you know, has played like the more recent stuff that's out on Nintendo Switch, these games might not do it for you in terms of, you know, their visual style, the mechanics, and just how simple they are. Because I mean, we had 2 buttons on the Game Boy family of systems, or at least the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, that is. So low battery on the controller, so we'll actually get ready to wrap it up here. But I will tell you, you know, if you're not a Switch Online subscriber currently, it is a worthwhile service, in my opinion, overall, objectively. But it's going to be different for everybody. If you like the retro content, it might be worth it to definitely sign up and remain signed up. I really think the value starts to come in a lot more on the expansion pack than the base tier. Unless if you're somebody who mainly wants it for online play. Obviously, at that point, it's completely a different conversation. But Mario Tennis does have very quick responsiveness, good mechanics for the most part. Mario Golf, learning curve on that. I will tell you guys that. I'm definitely going to have to go back and practice on that game to get anywhere near acceptable to figure out how I can even get the ball in the hole for one freaking round. But anyway, this one's a lot of fun. I can definitely see myself like passing by time with this, and I didn't check ahead of time. I'm assuming these games probably have online play like most every Nintendo Switch Online update does, but it is something that I didn't for sure check before hopping into this. So that's kind of what we got going on with NSO lately. There's definitely a possibility and more time in the month to get another round of updates in March, but we'll have to wait and see if that is on the table. And I wish they would have done Mario Land 1 instead of we just have 2 playable right now for the Game Boy. But you know, we'll have to wait and see if Nintendo adds anything additional. I'm hoping it's expansion packed here. If they do add an update, let me know in the comments down below if you're currently an NSO subscriber, if you plan on becoming one, and also if you're gonna hop into any of these games. I'll probably play some more Dr. Mario on my own time just because how much fun this game is for me. So anyway, let me know all that. I appreciate you guys watching the video, and I will see you guys next time.